Exponents, number 24. So what I like to do with these problems here, or what I'm going to do while I'm showing you how to do the problem, is I'm going to rearrange the h's and the g's so they're side by side. So like on this first one, I'll say this is 2h squared times h to the fifth times g to the fourth times g. And then here I'll rearrange, so I've got 7h times h to the sixth times g to the second times g to the third, and then minus 4 times g squared times g to the third times h to the third times h to the fourth. This, of course, is not necessary, but it's something that I think might help some students, especially if you look at all these numbers and these letters and you just think this is way too much for my brain to handle. You know, it's a step that could make it a little bit easier. And then remember, you're just going to tackle each one of these monomials one at a time, right? So I can just start with that guy, just forget about what's over here for now. I'm just going to look at this. And remember, if you're multiplying with similar bases, like they both have base h, you just add the exponents together. So this would be 2h to the seventh, g to the fifth. Now remember, g by itself is the same as g to the 1. So you're basically just saying, oh, okay, well then 4 plus 1 is 5, so there's that. And then over here, again, h, that's h to the 1, times 6, that's going to be 7h to the 7th. Remember, that's like h to the 1. And then here we got 2 and 3, so that's also g to the 5th. So notice that these are like terms. These guys are. Okay, they both have h to the 7th, g to the 5th. Now over here, we got minus 4, then g squared times g to the 3rd. That's going to be g to the 5th. And h to the 7th. I'm going to go ahead and put the h's, because I've been putting the h's out in front. I'm going to put these h's out in front as well. So this would be h to the 7th. And then g to the 5th. Okay, so here's something that's interesting. These are all like terms. So all I have to do at this point is just look at the numbers here. What's 2, like it's like what's 2 minus 7 minus 4, right? And 2 minus 7, that's a negative 5. Negative 5 minus 4 is a negative 9. So the answer is going to be negative 9, h to the 7th, g to the 5th. Or you could write the answer in alphabetical order, I guess. Does g come before h? I don't know. Either one of these is good. These are the right answers. Okay, so that's we're done with number 24. 34, this is a little bit different because we have a letter to a letter, like a variable to a variable, right? So this is going to make this a little bit different. Now, remember the order of operations still applies here. So I have an exponent to an exponent. I've got to do this first. And hopefully you remember that when you have an exponent to an exponent, you multiply them. So this would just be y 5z. Still times y to the third. Now here you want to be careful because you cannot, these have the same base, right? They're both base y. But 5z and 3 are not like terms. So when I'm simplifying it, I can't, a mistake that people would make is they would, first of all, they would multiply them and say, oh, it's 15z. No, you can't do that. Or they might add them like, say, it's 8z. No, you can't do that. They're not like terms. So what you have to do is just say this is the same thing as y to the 5z plus 3. I can't really add them together because, like I said, they're not like terms, so you just leave the answer like that, and then you're good. Okay, finally, 36. Here we have to actually use the distributive property. So we got 2a to the third b times 5a squared. The a's are the same, so we can do something with that. Well, first of all, what's 2 times 5, right? 2 times 5 is 10. And then a cubed times a squared, that's going to be a to the 5th And there's no b there, so it's just going to be, b. So that was just that first part, remember? Like distributive property, we're breaking into two sections. So we multiply these two together first. And now we're going to multiply these two together. So, no a's here, so the a is going to stay a to the 3. What's 2 times 7? That is 14. Right? Okay. Like I said, there's no a's, so there's still a to the 3rd. And then we've got b times b to the 4th. Remember, b is like b to the 1. So that's going to be b to the 5th. And again, because these aren't like terms, the exponents aren't the same, there's nothing more we can do to simplify 36.